Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Anna. Today, we talk about education. Education is very important in our life. We go to school when we are children. We learn many things there. We learn to read, write, and count. We also learn about the world. I think school is a great place. We meet friends there, we play and study together. Teachers help us every day. I liked school very much when I was a child. Did you like school? Today, my friend Mark is here with me. Hi, Mark. Let's talk about education together.
Hi, Anna. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. Yes, I liked school too. School is a very special place. We spend many years there. I started school when I was 6 years old. I remember my first day. I was a little nervous, but my teacher was very kind. She helped me feel good. I made many friends on my first day. We played games and learned new things. School gave me many good memories. I think education is the most important thing in life. Without education, it is hard to get a good job. I am happy to talk about this today.
Yes, Mark, I agree with you. Education helps us in so many ways. First, we learn to read. Reading is very important. We read books, signs, and messages every day. Second, we learn math. Math helps us count money and understand numbers. Third, we learn about history and science. These are very interesting subjects. I loved reading class the most in school. My teacher always told us fun stories. I think every child needs a good teacher. A good teacher makes learning fun. Children learn better when they are happy. What was your favorite subject in school, Mark?
My favorite subject was science. I loved learning about animals and plants. Our teacher always brought interesting things to class. One day, she brought a small fish. We all looked at it and asked many questions. I also liked sports class. We played football and basketball. Sports are good for our body. They also teach us how to work as a team. I think physical education is very important for children. A healthy body helps us learn better. Anna, do you think children should have more sports at school? I believe movement helps the brain work better. It is very important.
I completely agree, Mark. Children need to move. They cannot sit all day. When children play and move, they feel better and learn more easily. I think schools should have sports every day, not only once or twice a week. But I also think art is very important. In art class, children draw and paint. They use their imagination. Art helps children express their feelings. Some children are very quiet, but they can show their feelings through art. Music is also wonderful. When I was a child, I loved singing at school. I think all subjects are important. Every child is different and likes different things.
That is so true, Anna. Every child is different. Some children love reading. Some love drawing. Some love numbers. Good schools understand this. They give children many different activities. This helps every child find what they love. I remember one boy in my class. He was not good at math, but he was amazing at drawing. His teacher always praised his art. This made him feel confident. He grew up and became a great artist. I think teachers must see the talents in every child. When a teacher believes in you, you can do great things. Every child has something special inside.
Yes, teachers are so important. They are like second parents to us. They spend many hours with children every day. Teaching is not an easy job. Teachers must be patient and kind. They must explain things clearly. Sometimes a child does not understand a lesson. A good teacher explains it again in a different way. My math teacher was amazing. When I did not understand something, she drew pictures to help me. Pictures made the lesson much easier. I was very grateful for her help. I think we should say thank you to our teachers more often. Teachers work very hard for us every day.
Absolutely, Anna. Teachers deserve much more respect and appreciation. In some countries, teachers earn very little money. This is not fair. Teaching is one of the most important jobs in the world. Without good teachers, there are no doctors, engineers, or scientists. Everyone needs a teacher first. I had a history teacher who loved his subject very much. His excitement made us excited too. He told stories about old kings and great events. I never fell asleep in his class. A passionate teacher changes everything. When a teacher loves what they teach, the students feel it. That energy is very powerful and unforgettable.
I had a teacher like that too. She taught us English. She brought songs, games, and movies to class. Learning English felt like playing, not studying. I think the way we teach is very important. Old teaching methods were very strict. The teacher spoke and students listened quietly. They could not ask questions. Now, modern teaching is different. Students ask questions, they work in groups, they do projects together. I think this is much better. Children learn more when they are active. They remember things longer when they do them, not just hear them. Good teaching is like a door. It opens the world for children.
That is a beautiful way to say it, Anna. Education really opens doors. Let me talk about technology now. Today, many children use computers and tablets at school. They watch videos and play educational games. Technology makes learning very interesting and fast. My little nephew loves learning with his tablet. He watches science videos and then asks his parents many questions. Technology helps children learn at their own speed. Some children are slow learners. That is okay. With technology, they can watch a lesson again and again. This is a great advantage. I think technology is a wonderful tool for education when teachers use it in the right way.
Yes, technology is wonderful, but I also think we must be careful. Children should not spend too many hours looking at screens. It is not good for their eyes or their health. Balance is very important. Children need technology, but they also need books, pencils, and paper. Writing by hand is still very important. It helps the brain remember information better. I still write notes by hand when I study something new. It helps me a lot. Also, not all families have tablets or computers at home. Some children are poor. Schools must help these children too. Every child deserves a good education, rich or poor. That is a basic right.
You are absolutely right. Education is a human right. Every child in the world should go to school. Sadly, this is not always the case. In some poor countries, many children do not go to school. Some children work instead of studying. They help their families earn money. This is a big problem. Without education, these children have fewer opportunities in the future. Many organizations around the world work to help these children. They build schools and give free books. I think this is very important work. We must support education everywhere. A better educated world is a better and more peaceful world for all of us.
That is so sad, but true. Education changes lives. I read a story about a girl in Africa. She walked 5 kilometers every day to go to school. She was very determined. She studied hard and won a scholarship to a university. Now she's a doctor. Her whole village is very proud of her. Stories like this show the true power of education. When we have the chance to study, we must use it. We must not waste it. I always tell young people to study hard and never give up. Learning is sometimes difficult, but it is always worth it. The effort we put into education always brings good results in the end.
What an inspiring story. I love hearing things like that. It reminds us how lucky we are. Many of us have schools near our homes. We have books, teachers, and computers. We should not take this for granted. Every morning we go to school, we have a great opportunity. I also want to mention learning languages. Learning a second language is very valuable today. English is spoken all over the world. If you speak English, you can talk to millions of people. You can find better jobs. You can travel more easily. I started learning English at age 8. It was difficult at first, but I kept trying. Now, look at me. I host a podcast in English.
Yes, you do, and you do it very well. Learning languages is fantastic. When you learn a new language, you also learn about a new culture. You understand people from other countries better. This is very important in today's world. The world is becoming smaller because of the internet and travel. We meet people from many different countries. Speaking their language is a great sign of respect. Even a few words in someone's language can make them smile. I always try to learn a few words when I visit a new country. People appreciate it so much. Language learning also keeps our brain healthy and active. It is like exercise for the mind.
Exercise for the mind. I like that idea very much, Anna. Our brain needs exercise just like our body. Reading books is also great exercise for the brain. I read every day, even if only for 15 minutes. Reading helps us learn new words. It also helps us understand different ideas and opinions. When I was a teenager, I did not like reading very much. I preferred watching TV. Then my father gave me an exciting adventure book. I could not stop reading it. After that book, I fell in love with reading. I think finding the right book for each person is very important. The right book can change your life and make you love reading forever.
I love that story, Mark. The right book really can change everything. Parents play a big role in education, too. They are the first teachers in a child's life. Children learn from watching their parents. If parents read books at home, children want to read, too. If parents ask curious questions, children become curious, too. Parents should talk to their children a lot. They should read stories to them before bed. This is very important for children's language development. My mother read to me every night when I was small. I think this is why I love books so much today. Parents must be involved in their child's education. School and home must work together.
Totally agree. Parents and teachers must be a team. When they communicate well, children do better in school. Some parents never go to school meetings. They're very busy with work. But it is important to make time. Just one visit to school can make a big difference. The teacher can tell the parents how the child is doing. Parents can share information about problems at home. Together, they can find solutions. My parents always came to my school. They knew all my teachers by name. I felt very supported. I worked harder because I knew my parents cared. Children who feel supported at home do better at school. That connection is truly very powerful.
Exactly. Support is everything. Let's talk about university now. After school, many students go to university. University is a place for higher education. Students choose a subject they love. They study it in more depth. University can be very exciting. You meet many new people from different places. You become more independent. You cook for yourself, manage your money, and make your own decisions. University teaches life skills, not only academic knowledge. I studied teaching at university. I loved every minute of it. The friendships I made there are still very strong today. University was a life-changing experience for me. Do you have good memories from university, Mark?
Oh, yes. University was amazing. I studied computer science. It was challenging, but very interesting. I learned to think logically and solve problems. These skills help me every day in my work. At university, we also had many group projects. Working in a team taught me a lot. I learned to listen to other opinions. I learned to share ideas and compromise. These are important skills in real life, too. I also joined the university football team. Sport connected me with people from different departments. University is not only about books and exams. It's about growing as a person. I left university feeling much more confident and ready for the world.
That is wonderful, Mark. But not everyone goes to university, and that is okay, too. There are many other paths after school. Some people go to vocational schools. There, they learn practical skills like cooking, car repair, or hairdressing. These skills are very valuable. The world needs skilled workers. Not everyone needs a university degree to be successful. What matters most is doing something you love and doing it well. I know a woman who did not go to university. She learned to bake cakes. Now she has her own bakery. She employs 10 people. She is very happy and successful. Success has many different shapes and forms. It is not only one path.
That is a great example, Anna. There's no single right path for everyone. The important thing is to never stop learning. Learning does not stop after school or university. We learn every day of our lives. We learn from our experiences. We learn from our mistakes, too. Mistakes are actually very good teachers. When I make a mistake, I try to understand what went wrong. Then I do better next time. I'm not afraid of making mistakes. They help me grow. Lifelong learning is a wonderful concept. Even elderly people can learn new things. My grandmother is 78 years old. She just started learning how to use a smartphone. She is so excited about it every single day.
That is so inspiring. Your grandmother is a great example. Learning has no age limit. We can learn something new every day if we choose to. Online learning is also very popular today. People learn cooking, photography, or languages online. There are free websites and apps for everything. You can learn from the best teachers in the world from your own home. This is truly amazing. During the pandemic, many schools moved online. It was hard at first. Teachers and students had to adapt quickly, but it also showed us that learning can happen anywhere. All you need is curiosity and a willingness to try. I think curiosity is the most important quality for a learner.
Curiosity is the engine of learning. I love that. Curious people always ask why and how. They are never satisfied with a simple answer. They dig deeper and learn more. Children are naturally very curious. Have you noticed how many questions children ask? Why is the sky blue? Why do birds fly? Why do we sleep? These are wonderful questions. Schools should celebrate curiosity, not silence it. Sometimes teachers get tired of too many questions, but questions mean the child is thinking. Thinking is exactly what education should encourage. I believe a school that teaches children to ask good questions is better than a school that teaches only answers. Questions lead to discovery and innovation.
I love what you said, Mark. Questions are more valuable than answers. Let's talk about exams now. Many students feel very stressed about exams. I understand that feeling. My heart beat very fast, my hands were cold, but I prepared well, and the exam was not as bad as I expected. I think preparation is the key. If you study a little every day, you do not need to panic the night before the exam. Some students study everything on the last night. This is called cramming. It is not very effective. The brain cannot absorb so much information so quickly. Regular study, small steps, and good rest are the best strategies for success.
That is very practical advice, Anna. I used to cram for exams when I was younger. It never worked well. I would forget everything after the exam. Now I study in small parts every day. It is much better for long-term memory. Sleep is also very important before an exam. When you sleep, your brain organizes all the information you learned. A good night of sleep is sometimes better than an extra hour of studying. Eating well is important too. A healthy breakfast gives your brain energy to think clearly. I always eat a good breakfast on exam day. Water is important as well. When you are well hydrated, your brain works much more efficiently and clearly.
Great tips, Mark. I want to ask you something. Do you think exams are a good way to test students? Some experts say exams cause too much stress. They say students should be tested in other ways, for example, through projects, presentations, or portfolios. A portfolio shows all the work a student did during the year. I think this is a more complete picture of a student's ability. An exam is only one day. A student might be sick or very nervous. One bad exam does not mean they are a bad student. I think we need a mix of both. Exams and projects together give a better and fairer picture of what a student truly knows and can do.
I think that's a very balanced view. Yes, exams test knowledge quickly, but they do not show creativity or teamwork. Projects show different skills. A student who is nervous in exams might be brilliant in a group project. Every student has different strengths. The education system should recognize this. Finland is famous for its education system. Finnish schools have very few exams. They focus on curiosity, play, and real-life skills. Finnish students are very happy and perform very well internationally. This shows that less exam pressure does not mean lower quality. In fact, it often means better outcomes. Maybe other countries can learn important lessons from the Finnish education model.
Finland is a wonderful example. I read about their education system. Teachers there are very highly respected. Only the best graduates become teachers. Teaching is one of the most desired jobs in Finland. In some other countries, teaching is not seen as a prestigious job. This needs to change. If we want better education, we need to attract talented people to teaching. We need to pay teachers well and respect their work. Teachers shape the future of a country. They raise the next generation of doctors, leaders, and scientists. If we invest in teachers, we invest in our future. Governments must understand this and put more money into education systems everywhere in the world.
Investing in education is investing in the future. I completely agree. Let me talk about private schools and public schools. Some parents send their children to private schools. Private schools often have smaller classes and more resources, but they cost a lot of money. Not all families can afford them. Public schools are free for everyone. They are funded by the government. The quality of public schools varies a lot between countries. Some public schools are excellent. Others do not have enough teachers or books. I believe every child deserves a quality education, regardless of their family's income. Governments must make sure all public schools have good funding, good teachers, and good materials.
That is very important, Mark. Equal opportunities in education are fundamental. Now, let's think about the future. How will education look in 50 years? I think there will be more personalized learning. Technology will help teachers understand each student's needs. Every student will have a learning plan made just for them. Some students learn fast, some need more time. Future technology can adapt to each learner. Virtual reality might also be used in schools. Imagine learning about ancient Rome by actually walking through it in virtual reality. That would be amazing and so much more exciting than reading from a textbook. The future of education is full of incredible and exciting possibilities. I am curious to see what comes next.
Virtual reality in schools sounds incredible. I think artificial intelligence will also change education a lot. AI can already help students with homework and explain difficult concepts. It can give personalized feedback instantly. This is something a single teacher cannot do for 30 students at the same time. AI can fill that gap. But I do not think AI will replace teachers. Teachers give something very special. They give emotional connection, motivation, and human warmth. A child needs a human role model. A machine cannot truly inspire a child the way a passionate teacher can. I think the future classroom will use the best of both, human teachers and smart technology working together for better results.
I think that is exactly right. Technology is a tool, not a replacement. The human element in education is irreplaceable. Let's also talk about adult education. Learning is not only for children and young people. Adults can and should continue learning throughout their whole lives. Many adults go back to school after working for years. They learn new skills because their job changed. Technology changes very fast. Workers must learn new things to stay relevant. This can feel difficult for older workers, but it is also exciting. Learning something new at any age feels wonderful. It gives us confidence and energy. Adult education programs are very important. Governments and companies should support their employees in continuing to learn and grow.
Adult learning is so important in today's fast-changing world. I took an online course last year to improve my presentation skills. It helped me so much. I feel more comfortable speaking in front of people now. Before, I was very shy when I had to speak publicly. The course gave me tools and techniques. I practiced every day. Slowly, my confidence grew. This experience reminded me that we can always improve. No matter how old we are, we can always learn and get better. I encourage everyone listening today to try something new. Take a class, watch a tutorial, or read a book about something you do not know. Learning enriches life and makes every day more interesting and meaningful.
What a great personal story, Mark. I also want to try new things. I want to learn photography next year. I think capturing beautiful moments with a camera is a real skill. I have always admired beautiful photos. Now I want to learn how to take them myself. Learning something creative is very satisfying. It gives us a way to express ourselves. Hobbies are a great form of education too. When we follow our hobbies, we learn without feeling like we are studying. Time passes quickly when we do something we love. I believe hobbies make us happier and more interesting people. They also connect us with others who share the same passion. Hobbies build wonderful communities and friendships.
Photography is a beautiful hobby. I'm sure you will be great at it. You should share your photos with us on our social media. Our listeners would love to see them. Speaking of community, education also builds community. When people learn together, they form bonds, they share experiences, they help each other. A classroom is a little community. Students learn not only from the teacher, but also from each other. Group work teaches us cooperation. Discussions teach us to listen and express our opinions politely. These social skills are just as important as academic knowledge. The world needs people who can communicate well, work in teams, and understand different perspectives. Education teaches all of these important life skills beautifully.
I think that is exactly right. Technology is a tool, not a replacement. The human element in education is irreplaceable. Let's also talk about adult education. Learning is not only for children and young people. Adults can and should continue learning throughout their whole lives. Many adults go back to school after working for years. They learn new skills because their job changed. Technology changes very fast. Workers must learn new things to stay relevant. This can feel difficult for older workers, but it is also exciting. Learning something new at any age feels wonderful. It gives us confidence and energy. Adult education programs are very important. Governments and companies should support their employees in continuing to learn and grow.
Adult learning is so important in today's fast-changing world. I took an online course last year to improve my presentation skills. It helped me so much. I feel more comfortable speaking in front of people now. Before, I was very shy when I had to speak publicly. The course gave me tools and techniques. I practiced every day. Slowly, my confidence grew. This experience reminded me that we can always improve. No matter how old we are, we can always learn and get better. I encourage everyone listening today to try something new. Take a class, watch a tutorial, or read a book about something you do not know. Learning enriches life and makes every day more interesting and meaningful.
What a great personal story, Mark. I also want to try new things. I want to learn photography next year. I think capturing beautiful moments with a camera is a real skill. I have always admired beautiful photos. Now I want to learn how to take them myself. Learning something creative is very satisfying. It gives us a way to express ourselves. Hobbies are a great form of education too. When we follow our hobbies, we learn without feeling like we are studying. Time passes quickly when we do something we love. I believe hobbies make us happier and more interesting people. They also connect us with others who share the same passion. Hobbies build wonderful communities and friendships.
Photography is a beautiful hobby. I'm sure you will be great at it. You should share your photos with us on our social media. Our listeners would love to see them. Speaking of community, education also builds community. When people learn together, they form bonds. They share experiences. They help each other. A classroom is a little community. Students learn not only from the teacher, but also from each other. Group work teaches us cooperation. Discussions teach us to listen and express our opinions politely. These social skills are just as important as academic knowledge. The world needs people who can communicate well, work in teams, and understand different perspectives. Education teaches all of these important life skills beautifully.
I think that is exactly right. Technology is a tool, not a replacement. The human element in education is irreplaceable. Let's also talk about adult education. Learning is not only for children and young people. Adults can and should continue learning throughout their whole lives. Many adults go back to school after working for years. They learn new skills because their job changed. Technology changes very fast. Workers must learn new things to stay relevant. This can feel difficult for older workers, but it is also exciting. Learning something new at any age feels wonderful. It gives us confidence and energy. Adult education programs are very important. Governments and companies should support their employees in continuing to learn and grow.
Adult learning is so important in today's fast-changing world. I took an online course last year to improve my presentation skills. It helped me so much. I feel more comfortable speaking in front of people now. Before, I was very shy when I had to speak publicly. The course gave me tools and techniques. I practiced every day. Slowly, my confidence grew. This experience reminded me that we can always improve. No matter how old we are, we can always learn and get better. I encourage everyone listening today to try something new. Take a class, watch a tutorial, or read a book about something you do not know. Learning enriches life and makes every day more interesting and meaningful.
What a great personal story, Mark. I also want to try new things. I want to learn photography next year. I think capturing beautiful moments with a camera is a real skill. I have always admired beautiful photos. Now I want to learn how to take them myself. Learning something creative is very satisfying. It gives us a way to express ourselves. Hobbies are a great form of education too. When we follow our hobbies, we learn without feeling like we are studying. Time passes quickly when we do something we love. I believe hobbies make us happier and more interesting people. They also connect us with others who share the same passion. Hobbies build wonderful communities and friendships.
Photography is a beautiful hobby. I'm sure you will be great at it. You should share your photos with us on our social media. Our listeners would love to see them. Speaking of community, education also builds community. When people learn together, they form bonds. They share experiences. They help each other. A classroom is a little community. Students learn not only from the teacher, but also from each other. Group work teaches us cooperation. Discussions teach us to listen and express our opinions politely.
Before we finish today, I want to share one final thought. Education taught me something very important. It taught me how to think. Not just what to think, but how to think. Critical thinking means we do not believe everything we hear. We ask questions. We look for evidence. We consider different opinions. In today's world, we see a lot of false information online. Critical thinking helps us identify what is true and what is not. This is one of the most valuable skills education can give us. I am very grateful for everything my education gave me. It truly shaped who I am.
That is the perfect note to end on, Anna. Critical thinking is the most important gift of education. We live in a world full of information. We need the skills to navigate it wisely and carefully. Today, we talked about so many aspects of education. We talked about school, teachers, parents, technology, universities, and lifelong learning. Education is truly a lifelong journey. It starts when we are babies, and it never really ends. Every day, we have the chance to learn something new and wonderful. Thank you so much for this great conversation, Anna. And thank you to all our listeners for joining us today. Keep learning, keep growing, and never stop being curious. See you in the next episode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Anna, and I am very happy to be here with you today. This podcast is for beginners, so we will speak slowly and use simple English. Today, our topic is love. Love is a very important part of life. It can be about family, friends, or a special person. Everyone feels love in different ways. In this episode, we will talk about what love means and share simple ideas. I am here with my friend Mark, and we will talk together. I hope you enjoy listening and learning English with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mark. Thank you, Anna, for the warm introduction. I'm excited to talk about love today. It is a simple but deep topic. Love can make us happy, but sometimes it can also be difficult. In this podcast, we will use easy English so you can understand clearly. We will share our thoughts and experiences in a simple way. I hope this conversation helps you learn new words and also think about love in your own life. Let's enjoy this topic together and learn step by step.
Mark, I think love is a very interesting topic. For me, love is not only about romance, it is also about care and kindness. For example, when I help a friend or talk with my family, I feel love. Small actions can show love every day. I think love is something we can give and receive. It does not always need big words or big actions. What do you think love means, Mark?
That is a beautiful idea, Anna. For me, love means understanding and support. When someone listens to me and helps me, I feel loved. I also try to give the same feeling to others. Love can be simple, like saying kind words or spending time together. I think love is important for a happy life. Without love, life can feel empty. So it is good to talk about this topic and understand it better.
Yes, Mark, I agree with you. I also think love is about respect. When we respect someone, we care about their feelings. We listen to them and try to understand them. This is very important in any relationship. Love is not only about feeling good, it is also about being patient and kind, even when things are not easy.
That is very true, Anna. Love is not always easy. Sometimes we have problems or misunderstandings. But if we care about each other, we try to solve these problems. I think communication is very important in love. Talking and listening can help us understand each other better.
Yes, Mark, communication is very important. I also think love can grow over time. At first, it may be small, but with care and time, it becomes stronger. We need to take care of our relationships like we take care of a plant. With time and effort, love can become deep and strong.
I like that example, Anna. Love is like a plant. It needs time and care. If we forget it, it may become weak. But if we give attention, it grows well. I think this is a simple way to understand love.
Yes, Mark, that is a nice way to think. I also believe love can make us better people. When we love someone, we try to be kind and patient. We think about others, not only ourselves. This can help us grow as a person.
I agree, Anna. Love can teach us many things. It can teach us kindness, patience, and understanding. These are very important in life. Love is not only a feeling, it is also an action.
That is a great point, Mark. Love is something we do, not something we feel. I think this is a good idea for our listeners to remember.
Yes, Anna, I think so too. Love is simple, but also very important.
Thank you, Mark. I think we had a very nice introduction to our topic. We talked about what love means and why it is important. I hope our listeners are ready to learn more.
Yes, Anna, this was a great start. Dear listeners, thank you for listening to our introduction. Now we will move to part 1, where we will talk about different types of love. Let's continue together.
Let's start part 1 and talk about different types of love. For me, one important type is family love. I feel love when I spend time with my parents or talk with my family. We help each other and care about each other. This kind of love is strong and usually lasts a long time. Even when we have small problems, we still love each other. Family love gives me comfort and support. It helps me feel safe. I think many people feel this kind of love every day, and it is very special in our lives.
That is a great example, Anna. Family love is very important. For me, another type of love is friendship. I feel love when I am with my friends. We talk, laugh, and help each other. Good friends understand us and stay with us in good and bad times. This kind of love is also very strong. It may not be romantic, but it is still very meaningful. I think friendship makes life more enjoyable. Without friends, life can feel lonely. So friendship is a very important type of love.
Yes, Mark, friendship is very special. Another type of love is romantic love. This is the love between two people who have a special relationship. It can include feelings of care, attraction, and connection. Romantic love can be very exciting, but it also needs trust and understanding. People need to communicate and support each other. I think romantic love can be beautiful, but it also needs effort to grow and stay strong.
I agree, Anna. Romantic love is important, but it needs work. Another type of love is self-love. This means loving and caring for yourself. For example, taking rest, eating well, and thinking positively about yourself. If we do not love ourselves, it is hard to love others. Self-love helps us feel confident and happy. I think many people forget about this type of love, but it is very important.
That is a very good point, Mark. Self-love is very important. Another type of love is love for things we enjoy. For example, I love music and reading. When I do these activities, I feel happy. This kind of love makes life more interesting. It gives us joy and energy. I think it is important to have hobbies and things we love to do.
Yes, Anna, hobbies are important. Another type of love is love for helping others. For example, when we help someone in need, we feel good. This is a kind of caring love. It is not about getting something back. It is about giving and making others happy. I think this kind of love can make the world a better place.
I agree, Mark. Helping others is a beautiful kind of love. Another type is love for learning. For example, when we enjoy studying or learning new things, we feel excited. This love helps us grow and improve. It makes learning fun, not boring. I think loving learning is very helpful in life.
That is true, Anna. Love for learning is very useful. Another type is love for nature. Some people love the sea, mountains, or trees. When they spend time in nature, they feel calm and happy. This kind of love helps us relax and enjoy the world around us.
Yes, Mark, nature is very beautiful. Another type is love for pets. Many people love their animals like dogs or cats. They take care of them and feel happy with them. Pets can give comfort and joy. This is also a strong and special kind of love.
I agree, Anna. Pets can give a lot of love. Another type is love for community. This means caring about people around us, like neighbors or classmates. When we help and support our community, we feel connected. This is also important for a happy life.
Yes, Mark, community love is important. I think we talked about many types of love. Love is not only one thing. It can be many things in our life.
That's right, Anna. Love is everywhere in different forms. I hope our listeners understand these types of love. Now we are ready to move to part 2, where we will talk about how to show love in daily life. Let's continue together.
Now let's talk about how to show love in daily life. For me, one simple way is using kind words. Saying thank you, please, or I care about you can make people feel happy. These words are small, but they are very powerful. I also try to listen carefully when someone talks. This shows respect and care. When we listen, we show that we value the other person. I think showing love does not need big actions. Small and simple things can make a big difference in our relationships every day.
That is a great idea, Anna. Kind words are very important. For me, another way to show love is by helping others. For example, I help my family with housework or support my friends when they need it. These actions show care. I also think spending time together is important. When we give our time, it shows that the person is important to us. We do not always need to spend money. Just being together and talking can show love in a simple and meaningful way.
Yes, Mark. Spending time together is very special. Another way I show love is by giving small gifts. It does not need to be expensive. It can be something simple, like a note or a small snack. The important thing is the thought behind it. I also like to remember special days, like birthdays. This shows that I care and remember important moments. These small actions can make people feel loved and appreciated.
I agree, Anna. Small gifts can be very meaningful. Another way I show love is by being patient. Sometimes people make mistakes or feel upset. In those moments, I try to stay calm and understanding. This shows respect and care. I also try to forgive others when there are problems. Forgiveness is an important part of love. It helps relationships stay strong and healthy.
That is a very important point, Mark. Patience is a big part of love. Another way I show love is by supporting others. For example, when my friend has a goal, I encourage them. I say positive things and help them feel confident. This kind of support can make a big difference. It shows that we believe in them. I think encouragement is a simple but powerful way to show love.
Yes, Anna, support is very important. Another way I show love is by taking care of others. For example, if someone is sick, I help them or check on them. This shows care and kindness. I also think being honest is important. When we are honest, we build trust. Trust is a strong part of love. Without trust, relationships can become weak.
I agree, Mark. Honesty is very important. Another way I show love is by sharing my feelings. Sometimes it is not easy, but I try to say how I feel. This helps others understand me better. It also makes our relationship stronger. Communication is very important in showing love.
That is true, Anna. Communication helps a lot. Another way I show love is by respecting others. I listen to their opinions and accept their differences. Everyone is different, and that's okay. Respect shows that we value the other person. It's a very important part of love.
Yes, Mark, respect is very important. Another way I show love is by doing small acts every day. For example, making tea for someone or helping with a task. These small actions show care and kindness. They may seem simple, but they are very meaningful.
I agree, Anna. Small actions are very powerful. Another way I show love is by being there for others. When someone needs me, I try to be present. This shows that I care and support them. Being there is sometimes more important than words.
That is a great point, Mark. I think we shared many simple ways to show love. These ideas are easy to understand and can help our listeners in daily life.
Yes, Anna, this was a great discussion. I hope our listeners learned useful ways to show love. Now we are ready to move to part 3, where we will talk about challenges in love and how to deal with them. Let's continue together.
Now let's talk about challenges in love. For me, one big challenge is misunderstanding. Sometimes I say something, but the other person understands it in a different way. This can cause problems. To solve this, I try to speak clearly and also listen carefully. I ask questions if I do not understand. Good communication can help avoid many problems. I think it is important to be open and honest. Misunderstandings are normal, but we can fix them with calm and clear communication.
I understand that, Anna. Misunderstanding happens often. Another challenge for me is not having enough time. People are busy with work or study, and they forget to spend time with loved ones. This can make relationships weak. To solve this, I try to make time, even if it is short. A simple message or a short call can help. I think giving time is very important in love. Without time, it is hard to keep a strong connection.
Yes, Mark, time is very important. Another challenge is arguments. Sometimes people do not agree and they argue. This can hurt feelings. When I have an argument, I try to stay calm and not say hurtful words. I also try to listen to the other person's point of view. After some time, we can talk again and solve the problem. I think respect is very important during arguments.
I agree, Anna. Arguments are normal, but we need to handle them well. Another challenge is trust. If there is no trust, relationships can become difficult. Trust can be broken by lies or actions. To build trust, I try to be honest and keep my promises. Trust takes time to build, but it is very important for strong love.
That is very true, Mark. Trust is very important. Another challenge is feeling jealous. Sometimes people feel jealous when they think they may lose someone. This feeling can cause problems. I try to control this feeling and talk about it calmly. Communication helps reduce jealousy. It is important to trust and respect each other.
Yes, Anna, jealousy can be difficult. Another challenge is not understanding each other's feelings. Sometimes we think differently. To solve this, I try to listen more and think about how the other person feels. This helps me understand better. Empathy is very important in love.
I agree, Mark. Understanding feelings is important. Another challenge is being too busy and forgetting to show love. Sometimes we feel love, but we do not show it. So now I try to show it with small actions like kind words or spending time. Showing love is just as important as feeling it.
That is a great point, Anna. Another challenge is giving up too quickly. Some people stop trying when things become difficult, but love needs effort. I try to be patient and work on problems. Small efforts can make a big difference over time.
Yes, Mark. Effort is very important. Another challenge is expecting too much. Sometimes people expect perfect behavior, but no one is perfect. I try to accept people as they are. This helps me feel more relaxed and happy in relationships.
I agree, Anna. Accepting others is important. Another challenge is stress from outside problems, like work or study.
This stress can affect relationships. To solve this, I try to talk about my feelings and relax. This helps me stay calm and kind.
That is very true, Mark. We talked about many challenges like misunderstanding, time, and trust. These are normal problems. The important thing is to handle them with care and patience.
Yes, Anna, this was a very helpful discussion. I hope our listeners feel encouraged. Love is not always easy, but we can make it better step by step. Now we are ready to move to part 4, where we will talk about keeping love strong. Let's continue together.
Now let's talk about how to keep love strong. For me, one important way is to communicate often. I try to talk with people I love every day, even if it is a short message. This helps us stay connected. I also try to listen carefully, not only speak. Good communication helps us understand each other better. When we understand each other, love becomes stronger. I think simple and regular communication is very important in any relationship.
That is a great point, Anna. Communication is key. For me, another way to keep love strong is to spend quality time together. It is not only about being together, but also about enjoying the time. For example, we can talk, walk, or share a meal. These simple moments help build strong connections. I think giving attention to the other person is very important. It shows that we care and value them.
Yes, Mark, spending time together is very special. Another way I keep love strong is by showing appreciation. I say thank you and tell people I am happy to have them in my life. These words are simple, but they make people feel valued. I think appreciation helps relationships grow. When people feel appreciated, they feel more loved.
I agree, Anna. Appreciation is very important. Another way I keep love strong is by being honest. I try to share my true feelings in a kind way. Honesty builds trust, and trust makes love stronger. Even when it is difficult, I think it is better to be honest than to hide things.
That is very true, Mark. Another way I keep love strong is by being patient. Sometimes people make mistakes or have a bad day. In those moments, I try to stay calm and understanding. Patience helps avoid problems and keeps the relationship peaceful. I think patience is a big part of love.
Yes, Anna, patience is very important. Another way I keep love strong is by supporting others. When someone I love has a goal or a problem, I try to help and encourage them. This shows that I care about their life and happiness. Support makes people feel strong and loved.
I agree, Mark. Support is very meaningful. Another way I keep love strong is by keeping small traditions. For example, having a regular meal together or calling at a certain time. These small habits create special moments. They help build strong and happy relationships.
That is a nice idea, Anna. Traditions can be very special. Another way I keep love strong is by solving problems quickly. If there's a problem, I try to talk about it and find a solution. I do not wait too long. This helps keep the relationship healthy.
Yes, Mark, solving problems is important. Another way I keep love strong is by having fun together. Laughing and enjoying time together makes relationships happy. It helps us relax and feel close.
I agree, Anna. Fun and laughter are very important. Another way I keep love strong is by respecting space. Sometimes people need time alone. I try to understand this and give them space. This helps keep balance in the relationship.
That is a great point, Mark. Respecting space is important. I think we shared many simple ways to keep love strong. These ideas are easy to follow and can help anyone.
Yes, Anna, this was a great discussion. I hope our listeners learned useful ideas. Now we are ready to move to the ending and finish our podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our podcast today. We talked about love and shared many simple ideas about types of love, how to show love, and how to keep it strong. I hope you enjoyed our conversation and found it easy to understand. Remember, love is not only a feeling, but also something we do every day. Small actions, kind words, and patience can make a big difference. Thank you, Mark, for this wonderful talk. I really enjoyed it. I hope our listeners will join us again next time. Take care and goodbye.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you to all our listeners. It was great to talk about love with you today. I hope this podcast helped you learn simple English and also think about love in your own life. Remember to be kind, patient, and honest. Love grows with time and care. Small actions every day can make relationships stronger. I also enjoyed our conversation very much, Anna. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you again in our next episode. Goodbye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Anna, and today we are going to talk about motivation. I am very excited about this topic. Motivation is something we all need. It helps us get up in the morning, it helps us do our work, it helps us reach our goals. But sometimes motivation is hard to find. I think many people feel this way. One day you feel full of energy, another day you do not want to do anything. So today we will talk about what motivation is and how we can find more of it. I am here with my friend Mark. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Anna. Thank you for the warm introduction. I'm really happy to be here today. Motivation is one of my favorite topics to talk about. I think about it a lot. Why do some people always seem energetic and excited, and why do others feel tired and stuck? I believe motivation is not something you just have or do not have. I think it is something you can build. You can grow it. You can learn how to find it, even on difficult days. That is what makes this topic so interesting and useful. I hope everyone listening today will find something helpful in our conversation. Let us start.
Let's start. So, Mark, first question. What is motivation? Can you explain it in very simple words? I know this word is very common. People use it all the time. But I think not everyone really knows what it means. I think motivation is the reason why we do something. It's the energy behind our actions. Like, why do you go to work? Maybe because you need money, or maybe because you love your job. Both of those are motivations. They are different, but both are real. What do you think? How would you explain motivation to someone who is hearing this word for the first time?
I love that question, Anna. Yes, motivation is the reason behind what we do. It is the answer to the question, why? Why do I exercise? Because I want to be healthy. That is my motivation. Why do I study? Because I want a better job. That is another motivation. Motivation is like the engine of a car. Without an engine, the car doesn't move. Without motivation, we do not move either. We stay in the same place. We don't grow. We don't achieve anything. So motivation is really important for life. It gives us direction and energy. And I think everyone has it inside them. They just need to fight it.
The engine of a car. I love that image. It really explains it well. Now, Mark, I want to ask about something I read once. There are two types of motivation. One is called intrinsic, and the other is called extrinsic. These are big words, but the ideas are simple. Intrinsic motivation means you do something because you love it. You enjoy the activity itself. For example, you paint because painting makes you happy. Extrinsic motivation means you do something for a reward outside yourself. You paint because someone pays you. I think both types are real, and both matter. What do you think about these two types?
Yes, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Great topic. I think intrinsic motivation is more powerful in the long run. When you love what you do, you never really feel like you're working. You enjoy the process, not just the result. But extrinsic motivation is also useful. Money, praise, awards, these things help too. They can push you to start something, and sometimes starting is the hardest part. I think the best situation is when you have both. You enjoy what you do, and you get a good reward for it. But if I had to choose, I would choose to love what I do. That keeps you going on hard days.
Loving what you do, that is beautiful. But I also want to be honest. Not everyone loves their job or their daily tasks. Many people do things they do not enjoy. Maybe they clean the house, or they do difficult homework, or they work in a job they find boring. So how do we find motivation for things we do not enjoy? This is a very real problem. I think many listeners can relate to this. You have something to do, you do not want to do it, but you have to. How do you find the energy for that? I think this is one of the most important questions we can answer today. Mark, what do you think?
That is such a real and important question, Anna.
Yes, sometimes we have to do things we don't like. My strategy is to connect the task to something I do care about. For example, I don't enjoy cleaning, but I love having a clean home, so I think about the result, not the task. I think, after I clean, my home will be beautiful and calm. I will feel good. That thought gives me motivation to start. You connect the boring task to a goal or result that matters to you. The task is the road, the goal is the destination. You don't have to love the road, you just need to love where you're going.
The road and the destination, that is a wonderful way to think about it. I use a similar idea. When I don't want to exercise, I think about how I will feel after, strong, energetic, proud of myself, and that feeling motivates me to start. So we use our imagination to create motivation. We picture the end result, we feel it before it happens, and that feeling pulls us forward. I think this is a very practical tip. You don't need to wait for motivation to appear, you can create it. Just imagine the positive result and let that image pull you into action. It really works if you try it honestly.
Absolutely. Imagination is a very powerful tool. Our brain doesn't always know the difference between something real and something we imagine clearly. So if you imagine success, your brain starts to believe it's possible. And when your brain believes something is possible, you feel more motivated to try. This is also why vision boards are popular. People put pictures of their goals on a board. They look at it every day. They see their dream home, their dream job, their dream life, and it keeps them motivated. The image becomes a daily reminder of why they're working hard. I think it's a simple but effective strategy.
Vision boards. I have heard of those. Some people love them, others think they are silly. But I think the idea behind them is solid. You need to keep your goals visible. If your goals are hidden in your head, you forget them easily. But if you see them every day, they stay alive. They stay real. Another simple way to keep goals visible is to write them down. Just write your goal on a piece of paper and put it where you can see it. On your mirror, on your desk, on your fridge. Every time you see it, you remember why you are working. It's a small action, but it has a big effect. Do you write your goals down, Mark?
Yes, I write my goals down every week. It is one of the most useful habits I have. There's something special about writing a goal. When it is only in your head, it's just a dream. When you write it down, it becomes more real, more serious. It feels like a promise to yourself. I also write why the goal is important to me, not just what I want, but why I want it. The why is very powerful. If your why is strong enough, you can get through almost any difficulty. For example, my goal is to be healthy. My why is that I want to be active and happy for my family. That why keeps me going even on hard days.
The why is so important. I think this is one of the key ideas about motivation. When you have a strong reason, you find the energy. When you do not have a clear reason, everything feels pointless. I sometimes ask myself, why am I doing this? If the answer is clear and meaningful, I feel motivated. If the answer is unclear, I feel lost. So finding your why is like finding your compass. It shows you the direction. It keeps you on track. I think many people skip this step. They set goals, but they do not ask why, and then they lose motivation quickly. Asking why takes only a few minutes, but it makes a huge difference.
Yes, the why is everything. And I want to add something. Your why needs to be personal. It should matter to you, not to someone else. Many people have goals because their parents want them to, or because society says it's the right thing. But if the goal is not truly yours, your motivation will not last. You will feel empty even if you achieve it. So take time to think about what you really want in life, what makes you happy, what matters to you. These are big questions, but the answers are your real motivation. When you live according to your own values and desires, motivation comes more naturally and stays longer.
Living according to your own values. That is so true. Okay, let us talk about something very common, losing motivation. I think everyone has experienced this. You start something with so much energy, you're excited, you work hard, but then, after a few days or weeks, the excitement goes away. You feel tired, you want to stop.
This is very normal, but it's also very frustrating. I call this the motivation drop. It happens to almost everyone. The question is, what do we do when this happens? How do we keep going when we don't feel motivated anymore? Mark, have you experienced this? How do you handle it?
Oh, I know the motivation drop very well. It happens to me all the time, especially with long projects. At the beginning, everything is exciting and new, but in the middle, it gets hard and boring. I call this the messy middle. It is the hardest part. My strategy is to not rely only on motivation, because motivation goes up and down. Instead, I build habits and systems. A habit doesn't need motivation. You just do it automatically, like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you just do it. If I make exercise a habit, I don't need to feel motivated every day. I just follow my routine. Habits carry you through when motivation is low.
Habits are so powerful. I totally agree. When something becomes a habit, you don't have to fight yourself every day. You just do it. Like brushing your teeth, exactly. Nobody thinks about motivation to brush their teeth, they just do it. So the goal is to turn our important activities into habits. Exercise, studying, writing, eating healthy. If we can make these habits, we don't need high motivation every single day. But building a habit takes time. People say it takes about 66 days to form a new habit. That's more than 2 months. So we need to be patient and consistent at the beginning. It's worth it in the end.
66 days is a good number to remember, and during those 66 days, motivation will go up and down. That's normal. The key is to show up even on the days you don't feel like it, even if you do a smaller version of the task. For example, if you plan to exercise for 30 minutes but you feel terrible, just do 5 minutes. 5 minutes is better than 0, and often once you start, you continue more than 5 minutes. The hardest part is always starting. Once you start, momentum helps you continue. So on low motivation days, just start small. Don't skip completely. Keep the habit alive with a tiny version of it.
Starting small is such great advice. I use this idea too. I call it the 2-minute rule. If you want to build a habit, start with just 2 minutes. Want to read every day? Read for 2 minutes. Want to meditate? Meditate for 2 minutes. The goal at first is not to do a lot. The goal is just to show up, to do the thing, even for a very short time, because showing up is the most important part. Once you're there, you can always do more, but the habit of showing up is what matters most. Over time, 2 minutes becomes 10 minutes, then 30 minutes, but it all starts with those first 2 minutes of just beginning.
The 2-minute rule is brilliant. I have used it. It works really well. Another thing that helps me stay motivated is tracking progress. I keep a simple journal or chart. Every day, I put a small mark when I complete my habit. After a week, I can see 7 marks. After a month, I see 30 marks. That visual record is very motivating. You can see your progress, you can see your consistency, and you do not want to break the chain. Seeing 20 days in a row makes you want to continue to 21, then 30, then 50. Progress is motivating, and when motivation is low, looking at how
Break the chain. I love that idea. It makes motivation feel like a game. You are playing against yourself. How many days can I continue? It is simple but very effective. I also think celebrating